examples of something you would actively do to piss him off,
We
or
existed. That's what we did. We existed.
existed?
Yeah, he hated us.
Yeah.
I mean,
I there.
but he hated everybody
Yeah, but
except for
he took it.
the young sales girls.
But like he was just petty about such bullshit. Like I remember, I think it was before we had gotten fired. Braden went on vacation, so they. This is like the third time, like since I'd been there, that Braden's on vacation or whatever the situation is. There's no producer for the week. I'm there, but they bring somebody else from a different station up to be the producer for
Yeah.
the week. And like the first time I was like, all right, you know what? I haven't earned my wings yet. Okay, I'll let it go. Second time I was like, all
Mm.
right, that's kind of fucking bullshit. Third time I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. This is a massive slap in the face with a very little
Mhm.
dick.
Yeah.
And like,
No, it was all about that. He's right. It was like that every day. You're right, Andrew. Like, he wanted to keep Andrew down. He wanted to keep me down. Like, he wanted to keep everybody where they were and feel like they were lucky to be there. And we
Mm.
were, in a way, very lucky to be there. Like, that job was awesome. And the people, everybody else that worked there was awesome.
yeah, like
But,
I
almost
mean,
everyone.
I maintain like that job was the first job I'd ever had where I actually liked what I did and liked the people that
Mhm.
I worked with. With
Yeah.
with that exception.
All right. And we just let it, you know, he we let him get to us. It became one of those things where, we saw everything as kind of like an attack on us. And
Because it pretty much
I,
was.
yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not underselling
No.
stuff that he did. Like he would. Oh, my favorite thing was when we won the Marconi,
Oh
which
God,
is the
yeah.
radio station of the year of the year. Not only did I make the tape, was I
Dude.
on the tape. All right. We had to like send the demo in, so I had to cut the tape together. I had to edit it together. I got the mailing. I literally mailed the thing myself. Right. I'm on the tape as part of the morning show. Okay, which is top five. In a top 10 market. Okay, great. Like you're successful as hell. Most morning shows at that level last 3, 4, 5 years. Like we were there for. They're now there for their 15th. Like they're a great show, and we had very little to do with their success, but we were a part of it. And that was all I was arguing when I went to say, hey, look, I'd like to be paid, maybe a living wage. Do you think we could probably pull that off? And he was like, huh, you know what? I was like, remember, we won the Marconi. He goes, you had nothing to do with that.
Mm.
And I was like, do you remember?
That takes some balls.
I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And like, it was on an everyday basis. Like, what he'd do, Bruce, is that he'd bring me and Andrew or the entire show in. Like, let's say we had a problem with a guy on the air on a phone call, okay, who called in and, pulled some shit. Like, not Baba Booey or whatever, but like, pulled some, like, like said something inappropriate or made a joke that we didn't catch in time and let it go. He would sit us there on the couch together, and he would sit in his desk, lean back, and just stare at me. You want to tell me what happened today?
Mm.
And we only had one rule. It was don't talk first. Sit there and take it. Don't answer his question because all he wanted you to do was basically, try to dig yourself out. It was quicksand. Admit to something and then pull it down. And this went for everything. Okay, it wasn't just like, oh, Andrew hung up on somebody accidentally or didn't get to the right, didn't check to see if he was a prize hog. Okay, and gave him, a trip to Bermuda or something. And it wouldn't even be his fault because our records were terrible and everything else. But, shit like that happened. And you had to understand that, we were kids. We were really young. Well, I wasn't. Andrew was. And he was just trying to, cut his teeth. And, we were trying, he should have been the next producer. I thought he was going to be. I thought, I don't know what I thought. I was good where I was, but you know, uh, when I knew I wasn't, I like going in to see that guy every day. You knew you weren't going anywhere, like in life.
Hmm.
It was just one of those things. Like we had like this awesome job where we got to meet awesome people and crack jokes and produce funny shit and like people actually listened to it, and that was awesome. That was like it was a great show,
Yeah.
like, and it was a great time, but we fucking hated it. At
He
least
was the
I.
he was the Vince McMahon essentially.
Ah,
He was the proverbial glass ceiling that no one could get past.
it sucked, and I don't like doing sour grape shit, but
Hmm.
it's amazing how much of a scope he took up. Uh, like whenever I see Andrew, I think about our shared collected trauma uh, uh, that we had to endure with that asshole, and
Yeah.
it sucks because he still has that much weight with us. Uh,
Yeah.
he's taking up that much space in our brain rent free. But at the same time, like there was some definite fucking abuse in the sense of you never get away with that shit now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, especially in workplaces, which is great. I mean, like, every place that I've been in lately, not to, bring it into like a social justice thing, but imagine some of the shit that happened back then, Andrew.
Oh yeah.
Could you see it happening now?
No.
Why not?
And it's crazy because it's not like you guys are talking that long ago. You guys both, it was what, 2014 or 16 you said?
Yeah, it's 2000.
2014.
Yeah, August
2004, yeah,
2014
we're
when we
less
got
than
let go.
10 years ago. That's like a popcorn fart in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
crazy to think how much has changed and how far we've come. I don't know if it's maybe people are more sensitive or and maybe that's a good thing or maybe people are just not treating each other like assholes and that's certainly a good thing.
Oh,
But that's crazy to think that such a short time has made such a big change.
yeah. I mean, there's been this huge jump. There's like that feeling that everybody has that, everything's been the same since the '90s, or at least my
Mm.
generation has. Like, we haven't made any like huge jumps. Like, we should be on fucking Jetsons level of shit. Like, but we're not. And thanks, Elon. But like, what we've made in progress mostly have been in not being dicks. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and calling people out on their shit. Like, I think that we all just kind of took it, and I don't think anybody has to do that anymore. And I think that's great. I think that's like that is the progress that we've made. Is people can actually speak out and have a voice. Hopefully, they need more of it. But I know this sounds like kumbaya bullshit to some people, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
why?
No,
Like, just I've never understood the idea of that we all have to just sit there and take it because everyone has sat there and taken it before, and
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of seemed like the rule, didn't it?
It kind of did. Like, I'll give you guys a quick story. So, going back to Braden's on vacation and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember it was a Friday, so they had our friend Billy being the producer for at least that day.
yeah,
So he's trying to get Pete on the street. He's not sure like how like the format and whatnot it's going. So I'm running back and forth, answering phones, running to two rooms over to help him edit this and come up. Oh, let's do this. Let's put this drop here. Let's cut this clip right here. Get it
yeah.
down to like a 2 minute 30-second bit. So after the show,
Not up here, don't worry.
oh, Bruce disappeared. Now, well,
no, I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry, just I'm having trouble with my video. Continue.
anyways, so we go into the quote unquote green room after the show and just sitting around shooting the shit. And Captain Dickless comes into the room and he goes, "Hey Billy, great job with that Pete on the Street segment. That was really really good." And just as I'm about to go like, "Yep, I deserve this," just keep taking it. Billy, and I don't know what possessed him to do this because he's well fuck it, he's a good guy, but he's just like, well, and you really should be thanking Andrew. Like he kind of took the reins on that one because I really had no idea what the hell I was doing with it.
Yeah, I knew he was green. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So he just looks at me and he's just like, and he goes back and talks to Billy, and it's like
Oh yeah.
a simple good job takes like 2 seconds, you dick.
Yeah, I know. He wasn't gonna give that to you because he knew that was your hang up, and like that was my hang up too. I wanted credit for stuff that I did.
Yeah.
And that might like
forbid.
Yeah.
Oh God, like even when I asked him for a raise, like I did, I was there 5 years. I asked him for a raise twice. I know I should have asked you first. Like, dude, how do I go about this?
Here's the thing: nobody's going to tell you. I think that's another thing is that people should tell you. Like, I tried to tell you, like, one, good luck, and two, you just have to you have to go in and own it. Like, the whole confidence thing is how that guy got to that level, and that nepotism. But he needed to have that level of confidence, like, that set of balls to say, yeah, I've got that kind of power over somebody. He did not. He did not have that power over us. We gave it to him. And, we were so dead set on trying to get not his approval, but him to get, owned, like, for lack of a better term. Like, we were so hell-bent on that, which sucked. I think, against Bruce, I can see how you can think of this as therapy. It's dangerous, but yeah. I can see it. It's very dangerous, and I'm not paying you guys nearly enough for this. But should I lie down on the couch or no? Okay.
No, if it makes you more comfortable.
No, I'm good. Thanks. It's not that kind of video. All right. Thanks, though.
No, but I mean, since those days, it's pretty much been like. It would be like 7 years this year. It's been pretty much a 7-year journey of like, okay, how do I get back to not feeling like that? How do I get back to that concept of just like that I love myself, that I don't like hate myself because I'm just taking this abuse?
I know. And I know exactly how you feel, because that was such an unhealthy thing.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry you had to go through that, because I feel a little bit responsible in the sense that I probably could have, I should have had the power to, because I was the producer of the show. Like, it might have just been a name only to the guys, but, it's still, like, it was still a title that I held. And I could have said, cut the shit. And sure, I would have got me fired in 2 seconds, but
I would have gotten fired along with you.
Yeah. But,
I'm there with you, buddy.
We would have stood our ground. And we would have been like, yeah, fuck you, dude. And, we wouldn't be doing this later. Okay, yeah, we'd still probably be doing a podcast, but we wouldn't give that guy a second fucking thought.
No.
That, the fact that we never got him, which is fine with me now, because, shit, not only do I not care about him, every time that I think about it, I think about, just how bad we felt. And how much hate in my heart I had for that man. And, all the spite and all the, pain and literal pain he caused, you and me, all those interns that we had, Kevin, Pete, Heather, Jackson, Michael, the guy who replaced me, that dude, I'm still hearing stories about that dude. About, how bad of a fit it was, and how it was kind of just, I feel bad for the dude, because he had to go in there and justify getting rid of me and you, who were the two best producers in that room, and the guy who had to come in and replace us, he had to hit a home run with that, and he didn't. Yeah. And
But here's his tactic. He would never admit that. He would always say, "Well, no, it's Kevin, Pete, and Heather's fault. It's their fault. That's why the show's not working. It's not." Okay, yeah, he's not the greatest producer in the world, but I'm the best program director in the world. So suck my dick.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like that Dick Draper situation. It's like, or Don Draper. We're the dude in the elevator. I forget what the actor's name is, but he was on that Superstore show on NBC. But he was a young guy. It was like season 2 or season 3 of Mad Men. And he was just obsessed with Don Draper, okay? Because Don Draper was the most successful ad man, had this great big title, and he was a writer, okay? He was he just pitched him all the time, and he always got rejected. He always hated him. I always identified with that guy because I felt, yeah, you know what? I feel exactly like that guy feels. He feels unappreciated. He's, busting his ass, and he's not getting any of the credit. And I could identify with how it just kind of ate him up inside. the quintessential scene of Mad Men, and one of the best scenes that built both of those characters for me, was